Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Intuitive Insights and Tarot. Sheree tells me there's 35 people in already. Let me turn up the volume on that. Hello, everybody. Um, Happy Mother's Day to you, Sheree, and all the moms out there.
Thank you very much, Scott. Appreciate it.
Update on my mom. Um, she's doing great. A couple of weeks ago, she had a bit of a relapse. Um, she's been responding to her treatment incredibly well. Like all the doctors are blown away at how well she's been doing. A couple of weeks ago, they they went. I don't know exactly how it works, but there are markers for the cancer, and I guess under under 20 is good. And she'd been at that level for a long time, and they so she hadn't gotten any more treatments. And then, like, I guess the last time she went back, it was over 50.
Oh,
So so they they got her back, and that's when Maria kind of warned me that when I arrived on Wednesday, that she'd be ill from the treatment, and so for me to brace myself to expect her to not be looking so well. However, in her last appointment, they're down again. And so the doctor is able to put off this week's treatment. So mom's going to be in good health, or not suffering from the effects of the chemo when I arrive, which is great news.
that is terrific news, Scott.
Hi, Lynn and Sandy Nightingale. Thank you for being here. Wendy and everybody else who hasn't said hi in the chat yet. Let me make sure I've got my chat settings so that everybody can chat, right? Yeah, I see some non-members there. So, anything new happening in the news since I woke up this morning, Sheree?
Looks like China is talking trade deals, so it's very
Hmm.
good news.
Yeah, I'd heard that. I heard that Donald Trump is taking the money that was being spent on the housing for the illegal aliens that were flooding the country, and he's using it to help the homeless veterans now. So that's really great.
That is terrific.
I was
Yes,
so happy to hear that. Finally, some justice for the people who deserve it the most.
very
So,
true.
so today, might as well get right into it. I'm going to read this email that was sent to me by my benefactor, presuming that this is for real and that I'm going to get these gifts. If anybody is new here who doesn't know about it, about 3 weeks ago, I received an email from Tina, and not her real name, by the way. She doesn't want to be identified publicly. Um, but she was a client of mine from 3 years ago, and she told me back then if any of her investments ever hit big, like her currency get revalued or her cryptos, that she would help fund my humanitarian project, which is to try to help all the homeless cats and dogs in Thailand and the region here and other animals that need it. And so I got this email from her saying that she had submitted my name to receive a house, uh, a uh, a big factory warehouse that would serve as the sanctuary, um, a, a pickup truck, and some other really expensive things. I mean, like crazy expensive. And I recognize that how insane it sounds that this could be true. However, and I know all of you too. We all have some doubts, but let's set those doubts aside and let's imagine the possibilities of what could be. We've all been expecting something to happen where money was going to start being released, and maybe this is the beginning of it. Um, so if you do have those kinds of doubts and pessimistic views, please don't share them in the chat. If you do, I'm going to remove them, and you won't be able to be on this channel anymore because this channel is only for people who understand that manifesting our reality starts with thoughts, feelings, and actions. Okay. And those kind of negative thoughts and feelings don't help. All right. So keep them to yourself. Uh, all right. So, isn't that right, Sheree?
That's very true. We want to keep the vibrations high and the positive thoughts and actions foremost.
And it's fun just to imagine the possibilities of what it could be. And that's what we're here to do too, is have some fun and raise our spirits and imagine the possibilities. So the other thing about Tina is that she's a clairvoyant, um, and I've I've come to trust her because of the way, like when she chose these properties, it was the house and the warehouse especially. She didn't consult me first to see like where I would like to live or where would be a good area to do it. She she trusted her inner knowing. And then when I looked at the places, they were perfect for me. The locations were perfect. With the warehouse, I went and I did a tour of that place. It would be perfect for my needs. And also, I've just come to trust her. We're on the same wavelength, much like Honey and I are.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that she is a talented or gifted clairvoyant. Also, by the way, when I first mentioned this to Honey, the first thing she did was she said Tina is has nothing but the truest of intentions, and she comes from a good place, like spiritually. And okay, so one of the questions I had for Tina was about Sam Mosteen. First, I was curious. Well, Sam Mosteen is Governor General of Australia. And I think I'm correct when I say that she was with the last administration, and then there was a new. And somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. If you're in Australia and you know about this, that the government got reelected, so she maintained her position as Governor General of Australia. What that position is, I don't know. Um, But I was curious, is this really the Sam Mosteen who is the Governor General of Australia that Tina's talking to? Um, and Honey believes that it is. And then what are the motives of Sam Mosteen? Is she really a white hat? Is she really working with the alliance? Or is she a scammer somehow? Has she taken an opportunity to use her position to scam people through this crypto investment that Tina got in? And and all my answers were that Sam Mosteen really was who she said she was, and that her intentions were good. Okay, now that being said, I guess Tina had got a download, or she did her own like reading on Sam Mosteen, and this is what she got. So she said. So Tina does like Honey does. She contacts her higher self and she tries to see through her third eye to find the truth of the matter. And this is what she got. It starts off saying, this was Sunday, the 4th of May this year at 8:30 a.m. her time. She says, Sam Mostyn. By the way, that's Mostyn. And Sam is a woman. This is what I channeled from seeing Sam Mostyn in my third eye. Sam was chosen to be Governor General by the federal government and White Hats that is in office past 3 years to the present reelected Labor governments. That's why I guess that she got reelected. So she maintained that position. And she was also chosen to be team leader of the Australia Gold Coin Initial Coin Offerings ICO. Okay. By the way, when I did readings on this group, the Gold Coin Initial Coin Offerings group, I got that it was legit with my cards. Okay. So she was chosen to lead that. And by the way, my cards totally back that up. And others and our other past retired as our other past retired white hats, Australian politicians, mining magnates, entrepreneurs, Ripple CEO, Stellar CEO, banks CEOs, mining companies are emerging into crypto industry. In in the time of her position as Governor General of Australia from 3 to 7 years ago, the I guess full stop. The upper military, the Galactic Federation. Now, remember, she's channeling this now from her higher self. The upper military, the Galactic Federation, other worldly extraterrestrials, higher up in the ranks, off of workers, and all shadow governmental bodies globally. She has been working in conjunction with Donald J. Trump and the upper military global military commands globally. The Galactic Federation offworlders, high up ranked offworlders, upper military commands, governmental bodies, meaning governments that are white hats globally. Uh, Australia has been chosen to be the hub of cryptocurrencies. Okay. So this is why we think this is happening with her now. Australia has been chosen to be the hub of cryptocurrencies. Okay, so all the cryptos are going through Australia.
Hmm.
America and all of Europe have been chosen to be the hub for the revaluation reinstatement of foreign currencies. Switzerland, Germany, Ukraine, Iraq have been chosen for the straw man, NESARA straw man. The team that Sam Mostyn is working with has 300 to 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, maybe even more, combining all hubs together globally. High security buildings in Canberra and also in Sydney is being the main hubs, underground and above ground. The off-world galactic advanced technologies has and are being used to continue to build the Ripple Stellar blockchain QFS satellite system globally. It has been written into crypto smart contracts on the Ripple Stellar blockchain satellite systems. To go between the three hubs, they all are using the time travel technology to go between three hubs. I'm just reading this the way it's written, okay? They're also using submarines under sea level cities to store medbeds, replicators, cloning equipment, clones, etc. June is meant to be the flip. Liquidity, green light. This was a quick channeling of Sam Mostyn. Regards, Tina. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. And a lot of you out there are also clairvoyants, and you've been telling me that you think that this is really going to happen as well. So let's all keep those high vibes and positivity on this because I could really live use a new house to live in. This place is kind of falling apart. But that's all I want to share. Now, let me see if I can get see what's going on in the chat, and I'm going to use the rest of the time for to answer any questions you have about what may be going on. I heard there was an earthquake in Tennessee.
Yeah, I heard that. I haven't really looked into it to see how big it was, but I did see initial reports that they had one in Tennessee, which
Hmm.
is an unusual place to get one.
Francine says, Scott, what does she mean by the flip? I definitely see it happening. Yeah, well, I think what she means by that is the change from the old um, uh, financial system, the old banking system, to the new quantum financial system, which will be all blockchain and digital. And yeah, so that's what I think she means by it. Um, sorry, I one of the new subscribers or new viewers here says Scott doesn't stay on topic, jumps around. Yeah, I do. That's the way my brain works. So I wonder. Well, I was talking about the earthquake, and I'm still thinking about that. Do you think there's anything unusual about that, Sheree? What does your
Well,
higher senses tell you?
well, first off, like I said, it's an unusual area for an earthquake. So it makes you
One
wonder
that
if
big.
something,
They get two ones and twos there, which most people don't even notice. But
uh,
this was like a 4 point something, and that would be about what I felt here when they had the 7.7. By the time it got to me, it was like a 4.5 by the shaking that I felt, and it's pretty significant, I have to say.
so I wonder if something was going on underground.
Hmm.
Did you happen to notice what depth it was at?
No, I didn't. But that's also like where the new Mad, or I think where the new Madrid fault would be.
Hmm.
So
They'll come.
um, I'd like for people in the chat to give me questions for the cards. Uh,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be things personally that are going on with you. It could be something like what's going on in the world. So you know the main
Roger
reason.
was
Mhm.
Roger Roger was wondering about doing a check with the cards on the channeled info.
Uh, you know I'd rather not do that because Tina is has 100% confidence in herself and her channeling. And I don't want to question that. It's not for me to say if that's true or false. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
her truth, and she shared it with me, so I'm sharing her truth with you. Um, and and also, once again, I have a bias. I want to believe her, so of course I'm going to try to read the cards to believe her. So I want to let that stand on its own merit, right?
Sounds good.
Um,
I see Scott Frank is with us.
yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Um, Frank's coming to join me in Florida this next weekend.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, thank you, Francine. Francine has a message here. Blessing, Scott. All will be well. Yes, I agree. Thank you for that super chat. And okay, this reminds me of what I was going to say. Um, so it's been 21 years. It will have been 7,770 days since my feet left the ground in the USA in 2004 until I land in a couple of days. The main reason it's been so long is because I just didn't earn enough money teaching English to buy that ticket to come home. Um, I and it's just every time I would start saving money and I thought I'd have enough money to make it, something would happen and set me back. Um, but there was another reason why I maybe didn't try to do it sooner is because I always had this fear be- because Thailand is my home. And I couldn't imagine myself living anywhere else. I have no means to support myself in the US or anywhere else other than teaching here. I couldn't do it in the US. And I had this fear that if I left the country, there was a global catastrophe that was going to happen. That was something I knew was coming. I didn't know exactly what form it was going to be in, but I knew that something was coming that would prevent me from traveling. I was afraid I'd go to America and then there would be this lockdown that would happen, like what happened in 2020, and I would be trapped away from home for who knows how long. Now, wouldn't you know, I finally got my ticket. I'm leaving in a couple of days, and what's happening with all of these wars that are going on, you know? So I want everybody to put this message to the universe that I'm only going to be in America for 30 days. And then when my time there is done, my flight home will come off without a hitch, and I will get back home to my dog and my wife and my lovely home, cats and everything. All right. So, but wouldn't you know that things start heating up, right? Just as I'm ready to go, like there are a few things that I thought could have prevented me from traveling. The pandemic, a world war, or something like that. And now we got this going on. But I'm not worried. I'm always protected and I'm always in the right place at the right time somehow, some way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what's going on is just part of the movie, just for the
Hmm.
normies to see it. So I think you're going to be fine, but I will definitely put up lots of prayers and good thoughts for you to get back where
Hmm.
you belong and where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. To be clear, I don't think there's going to be a big World War III happening, but I think there might be a short period where it really feels like it is like well, like
Yep.
right now actually. But anyways, no fears there. Let's see. Holistic Breakthrough says Scott has an ASEA Essentials. Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, Maria told me that it just arrived. Frank, Frank, I'm really looking forward to seeing you there in Florida. Um, so if any, I'm having a get together at my sister's house. She's given me permission to use her house to host a get together. Um, if you would like to join, and if you're like in the Central Florida area and you're going to be in town, email me. And My email should be in the description of this video. If not, then my website is. You can email me there. Request the the address, my sister's address, and I'll send it to you. I don't want to announce it here because I don't think it's right to put my sister's address on, out to whoever could get it. You have to email me and then I'll send it to you. And we'll be meeting at my sister's house, just hanging out all day. Some people are coming from out of town, like Frank. Lucy is coming from all the way from, she's in Maryland.
Oh, wow.
And so Saturday is going to be just like a hangout all day and then maybe go to the beach on Sunday. The weather's going to be great, I think. I was just checking, looking at the weather. This weekend has been rainy down in Florida, so if it had been this weekend, it would have been a wash. I always get lucky when in regards to the weather.
We'll
Uh,
cross our fingers for you.
so Francine says she lives in West Palm Beach. Okay, well, Melbourne's not that far away. Email me, Francine, and I'll send you the address. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Um, I'm obsessing about packing and
Oh yeah, I'm already buying new clothes for my trip too.
oh yeah, you're going to Oregon?
Yep, got my ticket,
Hmm.
got my
I,
ride set up, and now I'm just going through my wardrobe and going, nope, not going to wear that. Nope, not going to wear that. Typical women
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Didn't it's not just women. Well, maybe it's because I have very I'm very much in touch with my feminine side, but I'm doing the same thing with clothes too. In fact, I'm probably packing way too much. Let's see. I just received buy me a coffee. Let's see if there's a question attached. And
Okay.
yes, there is. Okay. So this is from Lynn, I believe. I saw her in the chat earlier. Thank you very much. And thank you for the coffees. I really appreciate that. Uh, I'm sorry, Honey's not here today because she addresses Honey. But she says, I'm dealing with an infected tooth. Is this possibly a shadow that needs to be healed or ascension symptoms? I'm currently taking myrrh for the infection and trying to avoid having my tooth pulled. Ooh, okay. Well, this is one of those things that doesn't go away by itself, you know?
Very
And
true.
I know how people don't trust doctors anymore and they don't want to, get pharmaceuticals and things like that. But sometimes we really have to get things like that taken care of. And believe me, I know because I've suffered from my dental problems over the years. So, thank you, Lynn. And let me see if I can give you some. And it's interesting you're using myrrh to treat it. Now, I've heard of using garlic. I've used garlic myself, uh,
Right.
but myrrh, I didn't realize it had like antiseptic properties
Antibacterial.
or anti-inflammatory or pain properties.
Yeah.
But she wants to know if this is has to do with shadows or or ascension symptoms. And the way I'm going to determine this will be by the numbers of major arcana cards. If we get
Yeah,
the
Sherry.
predominantly major arcana, this is going to be connected to something else more karmic. If they're the lesser arcana, oh, that's like that. Okay, this is five of pentacles. So you're going through some kind of physical um, troubles right now. Oh, and but there's a star. Huh. So there is definitely a connection between your infected tooth and something else going on here. And Queen of Wands. Hmm. Let's see. However, you definitely need to go to see someone, not necessarily a dentist, but someone who, well, no, actually, yeah, maybe it is a dentist with the king here. Okay, so yes, this is some kind of connection with um, maybe past life experiences that are bleeding over into this life. In fact, I would say definitely there is. However, you can't just treat it yourself. Okay. With this Seven of Pentacles, you need to find someone who has more knowledge, possibly a doctor, uh, who can help you with this. Okay. Um, it's not because it's not just physical. You still need to go into your own higher self and contact where this pain has come, what is the source of this, and address it on a spiritual level as well. So yes, there's a physical thing going on here that needs to be handled in a with physical treatment, but also there's this spiritual thing that's karmically attached to you from um, a past life or from your oversoul, where your oversoul is at right now. Okay.
And like Sherry said, oregano is good for infections. And actually, you take the oil of oregano and put it into
Oil.
a carrier oil that you can swish around your mouth. And like Frank said, the clove also works for dental infections because I have
Yeah.
used both when I had problems with my teeth.
Yeah. A few years back, when I was at one of the lowest points in my life, I had no money for anything. I had a cavity that was wide open, and
Ouch.
and I had no money to go to a dentist, and the pain was just constant and relentless. And somebody told me put garlic on it. That would take away the pain because I couldn't even go and buy like clove oil from the store. So I started putting the garlic on it, and sure enough, I was amazed how well it took the pain away. And there's only one problem. There was a big open cavity there, and when I was rubbing the garlic on it, some of the garlic went down into the cavity,
Oh, good.
and it was like right down against the nerve. And I tried rinsing it out, spraying water on it. It wouldn't come out. So finally, I had no other choice but to take my toothbrush and dig into the cavity and scrape it out. So I'm like scraping a toothbrush over raw nerve. That I can tell you that was the most intense pain I'd ever felt in my life. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was an 11. And the agony was just undescribable.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so there are some dangers with self-treating with garlic like that. Francine has a question. Will the World Fair take place in July 2026? On the Ingersoll Lockwood website, it has it's supposed to take place in Florida. Thank you. Oh, is this an update? Because a while back we were talking about this quite a bit, and I was following this Ingersoll Lockwood website, and it was supposed to happen like in Iowa, and I did see that Florida was a possibility, which would
Hmm.
be freaking awesome for me. I could but I'm wondering, is this an update that Francine's talking about? Yes, it is, she says. Okay, I'm gonna have to go check that out again. Well, Honey and I have been waiting for this. What happened here? I just lost my chat. There it is. Honey and I have been waiting for this information because we thought it was going to happen for this trip. Originally I was thinking I was going to go to Iowa to meet Honey there. Update delayed. It will be in Florida. Wow. Okay. This is a great question for the cards. Thank you, Francine. Let's get into this one. I really wish Honey were here to chime in on this. Okay. There was something called Expo 76. I'm going to talk for a minute as I'm shuffling. Expo 76 was a World's Fair for technology that happened at the Kennedy Space Center when I was 13 years old. And I just lived a few miles away from there. And I had a cousin who was into science. He was older than me, and he took us there. We went there like 10 times to see all these really cool inventions that were going on at the time. and it was one of the coolest experiences of my life. So to get to see another World's Fair, which is like that, would be great. Okay, so the question is, boy, she give the date and everything, July 4th. Man, I'm gonna be there if that's true, if this is true. Okay, in Florida. So will the World's Fair be in Florida, July 4th, 2026? Let's see what's gonna happen there. Okay, three of swords. Right off the bat, this looks like a disappointing card, but actually, this is because what I just said. We all thought that it was going to possibly be in Iowa this year. There was a lot of disappointment when that didn't get announced, and that's where we were all at that point. Okay, and this is a yes with a caveat, so there's going to be more. Oh, and there's another yes. Yes, but maybe there's going to be some details. And I do think it's to be in Florida. You notice this guy's standing on a beach, right? And it's water.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, it's going to be in Florida. Their plans are in, they're making plans for it now. However, hmm, I think there's going to be multiple locations.
Well,
Um,
that would be nice.
maybe multiple locations around Florida or other places around the world even. So this may be bigger than one single World's Fair location. Like maybe there's going to be multiple locations around the world, or either that, or maybe yes, it's going to be in Florida, but they haven't quite figured out the venue yet. Let me see what Francine's saying here. Proposed kickoff date. Proposed kickoff. She wrote that. And what about the location? Expo 80. Okay, Sandy went to the Expo 86 in Vancouver. So, Francine, what does it say about the location? Is it saying that they've definitely, does it like give a location like the Central Florida Fairgrounds or Cape Canaveral, something like that? And then, okay, there's an alternative date. Okay, you see, now this makes sense because there are alternative dates. It has not been completely settled on yet, like places and dates. So I'm waiting for an update from Francine here. She's looking at the website. Yes, yes to what, Francine? That they've chosen the place. Did they say the place?
He says, let me check.
Okay. And also, what's going to be revealed at this World Fair is breakthrough technologies and things that have been technologies that have been divinely inspired. That's going to change everything that we know. And this has me thinking about the EE machines, Cherie, while I'm waiting for Francine to get back to me on that. Um, guess what, Cherie?
What's that?
I did a search on the EE machines. Lucy found one near her home, and she went and did it. She told me how great it was, and then she sent me the website, and then I checked the website. There are all the locations. There's a location just 10 minutes from my mother's house.
Oh, wow.
In fact, Elisa, if you watch this, you could walk to it from from your Airbnb where you're going to be staying. It's on Fifth Avenue in Melbourne, like right next to where my sister works.
Oh,
uh,
my God. That's
so
wow.
I heard it's like 200. Well, the one that Lucy went to was $200 for a 2 hour session, and there's you have to do 2 hours. Like I guess less than 2 hours is not worth it. Okay, so see, primary location Cape Canaveral, a site historic. Yeah, that's where I went to the Expo 76, and that's only 40 miles from my home. Primary location, and so but that's the primary location. Like I said, I think so. I think there's going to be other locations. Uh, historical. Yeah, and because I believe that this is going to be unveiling all kinds of technological advances, someplace like Cape Canaveral would be a good place to do it. Because, well, I mean, supposedly that's where all the space advances
Spaceship.
have come from.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pick this up. So I think overall that definitely is going to happen, Francine, but Ingersoll Lockwood may not be correct on all of their facts. Okay. Hey, Russ, how's it going? All right. And I think I heard another. Oh, okay. I got an email. Okay, I'll look at that later. Harry in Tavares, Central Florida. Great. I'll send you the address. Okay. What about this year, this month? What about this year, this month? What's going on?
Bird song up there underneath Francine said May 26, 2025, this month? Question marks.
Oh, oh, I see. Could we check for May 26th? Okay, sure. What's significant about that day, Francine? Oh, if it will be held. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you think maybe it'll be like a surprise announcement, May 26th. That's next month or this month, right? Yeah, this
Correct.
is May. Boy,
Today's the 11th.
the months go by so fast. Like I had 2 months to get ready for this trip, and I'm leaving tomorrow. It happened so fast. Lori wants to know about the RV and the DNR and all that. Okay, I'm going to do a reading on the revaluation, but first, let me look at this day that Francine is wanting to know about. Where do you get that date from? Too soon? Yeah, I think it's too soon, but
Hi,
let's take a look.
Russ.
What's going on the 26th of May? I don't know where she got that date from.
Hmm.
So, Francine, can you tell me why you chose that date? Because I think it's something going on with you personally. Not necessarily the World's Fair, um, but it looks like you maybe got some kind of download that could be a special day for you. You might or maybe information will be coming out on that date that will be a cause for everybody to celebrate. Maybe some information that's been hidden from us is going to come out on or around that date.
She said she got it from the website of Ingersoll Lockwood, and it's
Okay.
from the website. And Sheree said, hi, Russ.
Yeah, this is true. Um, so maybe there's something going on behind the scenes regarding that date, but I don't know. I that Ingersoll Lockwood site has not been, I don't want to say trustworthy, but accurate, completely accurate. It seems like because they've said things before that now they've already changed. Okay.
Yeah, especially with putting times on things. We know that time is
Yeah.
fluid and it all depends on how the action behind the scenes is going.
Yeah, it really needs to be announced. Hey, Cherie, have you ever heard the term don't just rest on your laurels?
Yep.
What does that mean to you? My mom used to say it to me all the time. And
Uh, to me, it's just don't rest on your ass and what's coming in, and you take it all in. It's kind of like with me. I always say question everything.
mhm,
So don't rest on your loyal laurels. To me, is question what's going on around you, question what people are saying, and question why.
okay.
That's me
Well,
anyway.
my mom always used to accuse me of being lazy because I would find the easiest, most efficient ways to do things. You know, like when I got into hiking, I got these hiking boots, and hiking boots, they're they're high, up the ankle, and the last few eyes of the shoelaces have hooks on them. So you don't have to
Mhm.
untie your shoe every time you want to take your boots off. You just unhook it and it loosens up and take. I was doing that one time. My mom called me lazy for doing that. I'm like, no, it's smart. It saves time and it's easy. But one of the phrases that she would use when she thought I was being lazy was stop resting on your laurels and go out and do something. Well, what were laurels? Do you know what laurels are?
Aren't they a plant leaves?
Like Caesar had laurels on it. He
Right.
would wear a laurel wreath on his head, right? Um,
Right.
but the way my mom would say it is resting. I always thought of like the laurels were your haunches, kind of like you're sitting, like a dog when a dog sits and you say he's sitting on his haunches, and haunches are the hind legs. I always thought it was part of the body. Don't sit on your laurels. You know what I mean? But I'm watching the movie Napoleon the other day uh, with that guy with the cleft lip. What's his name? Anyway, the actor. And so,
Oh, I can,
you know his name.
no, I don't know his name. I can see his face right in front of me, but I don't remember his name.
So, anyways, it's a biopic, and it was pretty good. But he's going around conquering all these countries, and he's writing a letter to Josephine, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go off to bring you back more laurel." And he also wore a laurel on his head, like Caesar. And that's when it that's when it struck me. Oh, laurels are wreaths, like ivy wreaths that they would put around their heads. And that's what you see in here. Okay. And laurels in tarot represent victory. Like so you go to war and you're victorious and then you receive laurels. Laurels are literally this, but it's also achievements. Laurels are achievements. So after 61 years of hearing my mom's words to me, don't rest on your laurels, thinking that means sitting on your ass, basically. Now I understand laurels are achievements. So if you had some great achievements in your life, don't just sit back and relax. Get out there and get more. So I don't know. I just want to share. I'm 61 years old before I learned what don't rest on your laurels means. Yeah, see, it's not hind haunches. No, it's not walking feet. It's not Joaquin Phoenix, is it?
Okay, well, I learned something new today at 68. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. So it's not just me. We've all heard this term, don't rest on your laurels. And then, and like separately, I knew what laurels were, but I didn't put it
mhm.
together with that term. So, anyways, you know, another thing about this card is before I started my YouTube channel, before I ever had any paying clients, I was practicing tarot with other tarot card readers that I met through Facebook. And did a video call with this very nice young woman, African American woman, who was also trying to start, uh, professional career as a tarot card reader. And we said, hey, let's trade readings with each other, 3 card readings. And I did, and she pulled 3 cards, and I my question was, will I find any success as a tarot card reader? And I'll never forget, this card came up as my challenge, and her words to me were, um, "You need to learn to accept the adoration of others." And she was absolutely right. I get very kind of shy and embarrassed when people give me a lot of compliments like that. Um, and I often think about her reading for me and how correct it was. And she told me I was going to do well as a tarot card reader too. Um, but now that I'm returning home, and it's only because of this new career that I have of reading tarot cards that I can afford it, because as an English teacher, I never could, right? And and so I'm coming home a success story instead of coming home with barely enough money to make it. I'm gonna be able to buy people dinner and buy people gifts and things like that when I'm home. And this is the other meaning of that. This is for me, it's a triumphant return home after 21 years. There are so many ways I could have failed on this adventure coming to Thailand to be an English teacher. So many ways. I know so many people who came here to do it and couldn't hack it. I mean, I've had 2 of my friends who came here to be English teachers who have left the earth plane because of bad choices they
Mhm.
made while here in Thailand, because it can be dangerous here. Okay.
That's true.
Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, how it made me remember this card. And this also represents my coming home with some success. Thank you,
Well,
Deborah.
you have definitely grown and changed over the last couple years. You've done
Friends,
great.
thank you, Shrey. Yes, Francine, 21 years. And I remember I was at one of my friend's house, and there were several of my buddies from frisbee golf that I used to hang out that were there, and I was leaving in a couple of days, and I said, "Well, guys, if I'm back in less than 5 years, it means I failed. I couldn't hack it. Um, Otherwise, I'll be back in about 10 years or so." And then, like I said, it's funny. I remember when I first got here, I was talking to some veterans, some expats who'd been here, and he told me so many people come here to teach, and then they get stuck here. You just can't make enough money to get back home. And I admit that was part of the reason why I haven't been home sooner. But then
Well, the universe wanted you there. So,
and then this got me thinking that this is like time for me to move on and go home. And that thing that happened with those people on the street the other day telling me that I didn't belong here. And isn't it funny that just as I'm now leaving for the first time, I had my shadows telling me it's time for you to go.
yeah, we
No,
get strange messages.
that shopping for Thai silk was for Cherie.
Yep.
Yeah, I did that for Cherie. And that's where I bought this fabric behind me. All right. So was it Joaquin Phoenix? I think maybe that was Jim Tom. Was Jim Thompson killed off? Who's Jim Thompson?
That I don't know off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep this a little bit short because I'm still getting ready for my trip. I'm making a list and checking everything off and making sure I have everything I need. And, how about you, Sheree? You got any questions for the cards?
Oh, I just had a strange experience today when I laid down for a nap.
Yeah.
Oh, I woke up with this thought in my head, and it said, sorry to say, but you're just not really, you just don't matter all that much to me. I'm going, where the heck did that come from?
What do you think?
Well, I'm hoping it wasn't Ander, you know, considering I was supposed to have a mission with him, but I don't know. I didn't even dream. I didn't even have a lucid dream or anything. I just woke up with it and it popped in my head. I'm sorry to say that you just don't really matter that much to me.
Let's pull some cards on that.
Hmm.
This is coming from a collective. I think it's a message trying to tell you that we don't just have the family that we're born into. We have the family that we find like through our connections with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And the real message here is that the people who matter the most to you, or that is the bonds that you have with people who are not your blood relatives can sometimes matter more than those that are blood relatives. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this reminds me of the saying, blood is thicker than water. Did you know that that term is used wrong every by everybody? So when people hear the term blood is thicker than water, they think that means that family is more important than friends or things that are outside of family. It's totally the opposite. The
No.
original uh, the original saying is that contracts signed in blood. And so blood, for example, brothers. There was a time when people would make an alliance with somebody, and they would seal that alliance or that covenant in blood. They would cut their finger and they would write it in blood in a paper, or just shake hands. Um, that's what's meant by blood is thicker than water. And then the water, it means the embryonic fluid that you're born in. So you share the same embryonic fluid womb with your siblings that came from your mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what the message was, coming from your higher self.
Okay. Thank you.
Right? Hello, Natty. Oh, this reminds me. Has anybody seen Sunny in the chat recently? Do you remember chat name Sunny?
Yeah,
She's
I remember.
she's a client of mine, and she had something coming up this month that was very important, and I want to know how she's doing. So I'm sending this message out to Sunny. I emailed you. I haven't heard back from you. I want to make sure that you're okay. If you hear this, please get back to me. Tell me how things are going for you. Okay. And Teresa, thank you very much. I don't see a question attached to that, but if you have a question, let me know. And you have no idea how much you're helping me by doing this. Um, as as I've said before, that my earnings from YouTube, from like the super chats that I'm getting here, uh, I get paid 1 month in delay. So the money that I'm earning this month will be the money that I get on my return from America on the 21st, which will be used to pay my rent and things like that. So it's really important that I do well this month for my return trip. So thank you very much, Teresa, and everybody who, it doesn't matter if you contributed $50 like Teresa did, or if you have no money and you're just watching this, and I get earn revenue that way. I appreciate you, from the very greatest to the very smallest. So just want to say how much I appreciate everybody for being here. And all the new subscribers that I've gotten recently, I know that you're here because of the NESARA-GESARA things that may or may not be happening. Um, but really what I'm here to do is to try to give guidance through the cards and maybe through my own intuitive insights that can help you in your journey. Um, so thank you to everybody. And thank you to the new subscribers. And that's why I'm going to try to give you updates about what's going on with these gifts from Tina. I've tried to set up a viewing for the house, Cherie, but they won't answer me back.
Oh, so it's just not quite the right time yet.
Well, makes me wonder why the $1 million warehouse and the real estate agent there were very happy to show me around, and they didn't question my credentials or anything. Um, is a different real estate company from the one that has the house. So
Hmm.
I'm wondering two things. Um, for one, are they not giving me a tour? Maybe because somebody's already put in, a bid on the house and it's already like marked as sold, right? Or something like that. Or did they run a background check on me and see that I have zero credit and that I'm just a YouTuber and a tarot card reader? Okay, so Lisa Fulford says it is Walking Phoenix. Okay, I guess I was thinking like River Phoenix, the guy who passed away. Okay, so it was Joaquin Phoenix. Great actor, by the way. His portrayal of Joker is just amazing. And
Never
I
saw it,
liked
so
you never saw the Joker?
no,
Joker?
I haven't watched movies really since probably Adrian Paul was born, and he's going to be what, 30 this year.
Yeah,
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, it's just I don't have TV. I do have Roku, and but I have a tendency to get into old TV shows like Bones and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I'm not really into sitting and watching a whole movie. Now I can sit and read a book for hours and
Hmm.
hours,
Hmm. Yeah, which
but
is
when it
great.
comes, yeah, but when it comes to movies, I guess I'm too picky. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm a movie buff, always have been. And somebody, I was talking about movies to somebody because I often refer to movies to explain things that are happening in the real world because a lot of secrets are disclosed through movies. You hear Honey talk about this all the time, and there's a whole list of movies that you can go and watch that will give you insights into what's going on. But somebody I was talking when I mentioned this to somebody recently, her response was, "Oh no, no, no. I won't watch that Hollywood propagandist because it's brainwashing and dot dot dot." Yes, that's true if you're not awake yet and you're on an NPC 2D level. Okay. However, if you're awake and aware, and if you have discernment and you're able to use your perceptions of understanding, then films and TV shows are great sources of information of what's going on because they present it as fiction when actually it's really the truth, you know? Like,
They're putting it, yeah, they're putting it out there. And if we don't stand up and say, no, we don't accept that, then it's their cue, their karma. Oh, well, they didn't say no, so we can do it.
mhm.
So,
uh
yeah, I,
yeah, yeah. And like if you want to know what med beds are going to look like, watch the movie Elysium. At the very end, they show you the med beds that are there. If you want to know about Stargates, watch the movie Stargate,
oh,
uh,
yeah.
and things like that. Well, thank
Okay,
you,
we
Marcia. Sorry, honey was isn't here today. I decided because this will be my last live before I leave for America. I wanted to have this time just to myself to talk to you guys. Um, there's a
true.
possibility that Honey and I will be broadcasting from the same location soon.
That'd
So
be great.
that's yeah, I heard recently that she's going to be visiting me, but I don't want to give details because I don't want 100 people showing up for
Yeah.
it.
Teresa H said, "Hi, Scott. I'm from Hong Kong. Can you pull some
Mhm.
cards and see how Hong Kong is? I
Oh,
still
sure.
see so many sleepers here, and I am so grateful for you."
Well, thank you for that, Teresa H. over in Hong Kong. And I'm so amazed when I see I have clients from all over the world. You know, I've had a client from Japan. I have a lot of clients in Australia and New Zealand. One of my
Oh, that's
clients from New Zealand, her grandfather was was the Prime Minister of Australia during World War II. Oh no, before World War II, and then he recused himself because he would not have anything to do with the war. He was a pacifist. That was really
good.
interesting. So yeah, it's great to see all these clients from around the world. And yeah, and let's see what's going on in Hong Kong. People there are very much asleep. I'm wondering what kind of contact like are you do you know a lot of people in Hong Kong and you talking to them about their awakeness? Because I always think of Thai people as being very much brainwashed. That it's a very hierarchical society here. You do what you're told. If your parents tell you to do this, then you do it. If the government tells you to do something, you do it. The king tells you to do something, you do it. They don't question. However, I started finding these groups on Facebook where there are a lot of Thai people who are awake. And the realtor that I met who showed me around the warehouse,
Hmm.
he wasn't knowledgeable about a lot of things, but he was awake. Like he mentioned a guy that I can't think of his name now that he knew. And we talked about it. And he said, yeah, Thai people are waking up. So maybe there's more people awake in Hong Kong than what you realize. So I have another friend who lives there too. So let's see what's going on with Hong Kong. how it's going to fare through these geopolitical times of change that we're going through. And especially, though, for you, Teresa, how will you fare being in Hong Kong during this great change that's happening? Okay, so this is for Teresa in Hong Kong.
She works at the Monetary Authority.
Teresa does? Oh, I see it there. Teresa, you have a Western name, but are you of Asian descent? Are you a native Hong Kongian? Were you born there? Or do you come from a Western country? Because there are a lot of Westerners who live in Hong Kong.
She hasn't answered yet.
Yeah, give her a minute.
Yep.
Okay, that one's upside down. Most of all of your concerns are internal. Their struggles. Let me read her question. Can you find her question and reread it again so I have it clearly?
Yeah, just a second here.
Be a little bit.
Can
Oh,
you
she is
pull some
Chinese, the
cards?
native Hong Kong. Okay, great. That makes sense. Go ahead.
Said, can you pull some cards and see how Hong Kong is? I still see so many sleepers here.
Okay. Um, it's funny. So see the four of swords here. The guy's sleeping. There's okay. Teresa. There's a lot. There are a lot more people waking up than what you realize. You you're not seeing things for what they really are. You have a little bit of negative thinking going on that may be clouding your ability to see that there are people waking up. Wasn't Let me see, Hong Kong, was it Hong Kong that had a big Teresa, there was a something with umbrellas, a umbrella revolution. Was that in Hong Kong or was that in that other place?
Beijing.
It, it looks like, Teresa, that there has been a major shakeup in the government that happened already. Okay. And this is
Mm-hmm.
something that is going on all over the world. I don't believe that any of the countries are now under the control of the black hats and the cabal. Okay. Just like this tower in the past. They're all secretly being controlled by the new uh, um, shadow government, which is the good guys. So, for example, all during the Biden administration, there was a shadow government being run by Donald Trump. That's who the shadow government was at that time. Okay. Um, and I think, yeah, that huge turmoil and just before COVID started, I remember that. Um, there was something from that after that where I believe that your government is now under control of the White Hats. Now come down here. This this King of Swords. Okay, he is for truth and justice, and for using the sword to cut away lies and to bring truth and justice out. This is coming in so this is going to be revealed here shortly. Um, and that Hong Kong is going to regain its national sovereignty. Okay, with this queen here. This is the challenge. The challenge has been for Hong Kong to be a sovereign uh, entity or sovereign government, and that's what's coming out of this. Okay, right now it just appears that there are a lot of people sleeping, but really there's a lot more going on. you're not able to see it right now more because of the way you're looking at it. Okay. But trust me, Hong Kong is now under the control of the white hats, and soon that's going to be coming out for everybody to know. All right.
By what I've heard, Xi Jinping stated clear back when he was a kid that he would take down the CCP.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she is actually working behind the scenes with Donald Trump, with Putin, uh, there's with the White Hats.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that was cool reading. And I love the question, Teresa. So thank you, and thank you for watching. So cool. It just to me, it's so cool that I have people from all walks of life, all nationalities. I mean, she's a you know, it's just so cool. I'm so
RS has a question for you. And they
okay.
ask, what does my job look like now that my boss is leaving May 30th?
Okay, great question. Who asked this?
RS Fitness.
Damn, because I want my cards to be all bright before I begin this again. And repeat the question one more time for me.
Okay, RS Fitness. What does my job look like now that my boss is leaving May 30th?
Me three. Okay. All right. Cool.
And I'll be right back.
And don't give me any more details about like what your job is or anything. I mean, you can write them in the chat, but I'm not going to look. And Sheree, don't read them because I like to see if I can get these things. Oh,
Okay,
this reminds. I'm sorry.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. Fitness wants to know how her job is going to look after the 30th when her boss leaves, whoever was her boss or authority. So, granted, I don't know if she thinks it's going to be good or bad. So, like, did she like this person or not? I don't know. Did she think he was a good boss? I don't know. Is she expecting things to get better or worse? I don't know. That's what's cool about this. I don't know anything other than what the question is. What is her job going to look like after this boss leaves on May 30th? Okay, so this first card is URS Fitness. Okay, so I'm guessing you did not like this person. They've been giving you grief. They've been making your life difficult, been making you feel unhappy. And maybe everybody at the company feels that way. Nobody liked that person. That person was like out being ostracized by everybody in the company. I'm not asserting that. I'm asking if that's true. Oh, well,
Boo boo, it's not bedtime yet. Hush up.
okay. So let's see. RS Fitness. What does my okay? So RS Fitness. Was I correct what I said there that this read your question again? When your boss is leaving, am I correct in saying that this boss made you unhappy? Uh, you didn't there maybe nothing was ever good enough. They felt like not just you, but everybody. They were maybe a hard taskmaster, hard to please, someone who was hard to please. And to answer your question, it looks like there may be a bit of chaotic, maybe power play. So maybe there's it may create something like a power vacuum in the company at first until they find the right person. I would say that whoever's coming in to replace them maybe is not someone who has a lot of confidence, not someone who's not really suited for the job. However, the atmosphere at work should be better. So let's see. Because this Five of Swords, it's not going to be an easy transition. Right? Maybe things won't run as smoothly or something. However, there's it's this person was not very empathetic of other people's feelings, and so there's going to be some healing from that. Waiting for some feedback from RS Fitness on that. Okay, so after this initial chaotic time of like trying to find out who's going to replace them and how things are going to work with new leadership, then it's going to settle down and start working well together. Yeah, I really wish I could get more information from RS Fitness about now's the time when I'd like to know what kind of work is it that you
Yeah,
do.
so far they haven't put in anything. So
Hmm? That's okay.
um,
I'm sure maybe they walked away and they'll come back and hear this and answer. Uh, so hmm, eventually you're not going to have that job anymore. Eventually you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do, whatever you consider to be leisure time, and and do things selfishly for yourself, and you won't have to have a job like that anymore.
amen.
That's where that's what the ultimate outcome is going to be um, for you. Okay.
Oh,
Almost
there you are.
nightmare. Which, yep. My new one leaving is awesome and is heartbreaking. She's leaving. Okay. So the old one, that's why I had this two. I see. And that's why I was picking on. So that's why this two in the past, there were two people. The one that left was the one that was causing all the grief, and the new one you loved. Okay, so that explains. Yeah. So no, there's going to be a lot of like chaos until they find the right person to replace this one that you loved. And then that is going to happen. And then things are going to be a lot easier. Okay. Makes sense to me now.
Terry Eisenbiz has a question for you. Was the man that tried to kidnap me when I was 12 part of the trafficking ring?
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm sorry that you have that terrible memory, but at least he wasn't successful in kidnapping you. So sounds like you were spared the worst of it. Was the man who that tried to kidnap part of it. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at this perpetrator and we're going to see, was he working on his own or was he part of something greater? Oh, by the way, right now you can't schedule any uh, readings with me because I have my calendar completely blacked out until I get to America and I figure out what my schedule is going to be like. Once I do that, then I will start opening up time slots. It's going to be totally different from what it used to be. I used to do only in the evening. starting from like 9 o'clock in the evening now because I'm going to be in America. I'm thinking, well, it's going to be in the daytime, right? Starting around 10 a.m., going up till 5 or so. Who knows? I might be able to do later, uh, but we'll see. All right. So if you're wanting to book with me, I will be doing Zoom calls from Florida for readings, and I'll be available for in-person readings as well. If you want to travel down, if you're not far from Melbourne, Florida, and you want to travel over while I'm at my sister's house, meet me for an in-person reading, we can do that too. All right. So this is about the man who tried to kidnap. Who? Where is it? I lost it.
Terry Eisenbids. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. It's
I think
Terry.
that's an unusual name. Okay, so yeah, so let's look at Terry's attempted kidnapper. Was he just some psycho on his own, or was he working for a ring? Terry, could you tell us when this happened? How many years ago?
She
Okay,
said she
now
fought really hard and was lucky to get away. I'm very lucky.
can you repeat what you just said there, Sheree?
She said she fought very hard and she was lucky to get
Oh,
away.
good for you. Good for you. Okay. So in this case, the first card represents the attempted kidnapper himself. Oh, he was part of a he was working for like an international. Yes. Oh my God. Sorry for the exclamation there. So yes, Terry, he was part of a larger ring of kidnappers. Was he ever caught, Terry? What happened? Had he been successful in getting you, he would have taken you out of the country,
Ooh,
and
heavens.
uh, and you would have been groomed for all kinds of other things, not just for sexual abuse, but for other types of abuse as well. So God bless you, Terry, for fighting to get away like that. Wow.
Yeah, like Russ says, you were protected by your spirit guides and angels. Man.
That and also taking responsibility for yourself as well, fighting back against it. So many people, like, I mean, I don't talk about this too often, and I'm not ashamed of it, or I'm not afraid to talk about it or anything, but I had an uncle who was a predator. And he tried stuff with me when I was about 11 years old. He didn't get anywhere with it because I didn't let him. I ran away from him. The he had my cousin and I, we went down to Miami where he lived to spend a weekend with him. It was like the first time we were allowed to travel away from home. And we were only 11 years old. Back then, parents didn't think it was that crazy to put two 11-year-old kids on a bus for 6 hours to travel. And then I thought it was really strange that he had us all, the three of us, sleep in one bed. And then he started trying to touch me, and
Ooh,
I just got up and ran away. I went to another bedroom that didn't have air conditioning in, by the way, because he only had the one room that had air conditioning in it. I guess that was his trick for getting us to have to sleep in the same bed with him.
yeah, sneaky.
Um, But so many kids you hear about in this situation, they think, oh, he's an adult, so it's okay, and I should let him do this, right? I didn't have that thought at all. And I can't understand all these people, like their coaches and people do these things to them, and they just, oh, that was back in 77.
Yeah, see, I'm glad I was never put into a position where I had to make a decision because, on one hand, I was raised by my parents that you respect your elders and you did as you're told when you were told. But at the same time, we were told, if strangers come up to talk to you, to run away. And it was always confusing to me because if they were elder, I was told to respect them and do as you're told when you're told. So I'm glad I was never put in the position to where I had to make a choice between the two.
Hmm. Well, there was, yeah, that was another strange thing about my family is Cuban Hispanic, and the Cuban people are very kissy, very like affectionate. Even though like men will kiss not on the lips but on the cheek or whatever. And this
Mm-hmm.
uncle was always wanting kisses and hugs. And if you shied away from it, you were like, "Oh no, go give Uncle so and so a kiss."
All right.
And you were like almost forced to do that, show that kind of affection. I never felt comfortable with it. I always thought it was weird. And yeah, I do. Well, parents should never force their children to show affection to family members who they only saw once or twice a year, like that.
Oh. And Terry said that she always felt like it was
Oh,
organized as the police wouldn't even take a report.
yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, so he was actually like under some kind of protection.
Oof.
Well, there's worse things than death, Terry. All right, guys, listen, thank you very much for being here. I'm not going to drag this out any longer. I've got things to do. I'm still getting ready for this trip. I'm obsessing about it. I cannot relax. So, like, I'll be sitting down in my lazy boy trying to enjoy something I'm watching or whatever, and then I'll get a thought for something. I have to stop what I'm doing and go out and do it right away.
Or
I'm
add
totally
another item
obsessed.
to the list of, I got to pick this up or I got to do this beforehand. Yep,
Yeah.
I understand.
All right. So thank you, Sandy, and thank you for everybody. Not you, Sandy. My Sandy. Sandy, what are you gonna do when I'm gone? Oh, that dog is like physically attached to me everywhere I go. I can't
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
her being on her own. All right. So once again, hey, the next time you guys see me, I'm gonna be in Florida. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of videos of my reaction to how things have changed. So you're going to see me, for example, it's going to be may seem very mundane to you, but I'm going to walk into a grocery store and I'm going to just have the video camera as a selfie on me, how I react to how things are different, or just walking around my old neighborhood. Um, because in 21 years, my memories of are long gone of the place how it used to be. It's changed so much. So this is very much like me going to a foreign country, really. And I'll tell you, I'm a little bit worried. I watch all these cop shows, like people just minding their own business, walking down the street, and all of a sudden the cops, "Where's your ID?" And then let me search you. I know that's just on TV and it's not really that bad, but somebody told me America is a police state nowadays, and it was getting that way when I left.
Well, it's going to be different. Very
Yeah,
different.
yeah. Russ is reminding me that I don't have to worry about money. And you're right, Russ. Like I said, I want to come home with abundance. I want to come home and be able to take my sister to dinner and I pick up the bill. If it's $100, no problem. I'll pay for it. Um, I want to have a party with my old 3D friends and buy a keg of beer and maybe a bunch of hamburgers. And I want to be the one who provides because I was never like that when I was in America. When the job I had in America only paid about $15,000 a year, so I never had money then either. And yes, I will be fine, Francine. Those are those intrusive thoughts of negative thoughts of the bad things that might happen, and I'm gonna put those out of my mind. And I'm gonna come with the highest vibration and spirit I can have because I've got a lot of wonderful friends now who I've met through this YouTube channel that are going to be coming to greet me as well.
Definitely.
All right. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end this. Find the end button. There it is.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, everybody.
Cherie.
You're welcome, Scott.
I
Always a
appreciate
bonus.
you. I appreciate everybody who's been here during the live, and if you're watching this in the replay, I appreciate for that. I appreciate you for that as well. And special thank you to the super chats. Teresa, oh, that's the Teresa from Hong Kong.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad I was able to give you that very positive reading, Teresa. You guys are going to be fine in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is finally going to be free and independent from China. And and then the other one was from Francine. Thank you very much, Francine. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you send money through a super chat or if you're just watching, bearing through the commercials. And yes, by the way, I have had the commercial rates up a little high, higher than I normally do because, like I said, I'm just trying to uh, earn as much as I can before this trip to America. After that, I'll I won't be doing so many commercials.
Sounds
Thank you,
good.
Shereen.
You're very welcome, Scott. Thank you for being here again tonight. We always appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm getting on the plane tomorrow.
I'll
I
think
just
about you all day tomorrow.
so I'm leaving the house at 4 p.m. The flight doesn't leave until about 11:30, but I need that much time to make sure I get there and everything. Um, it's a 29-hour flight. It's going to be 36 hours from the time I leave here until I arrive in Florida. Should take 36 hours. That's a long time traveling in a pressurized box. All right, everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you so much.
Have a good night, guys.
See you from Florida. It's coming soon. Bye bye. Thank you, Cherie. That was very successful.
Yeah, had some good